Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing today? Give me some chats. You tell me how you feeling. What's going on? And give me a minute. Okay, good morning, Victoria. Morning, Amisha. Give me a minute, guys. Let me send an email. I'm right here. Let me send this email before I forget. All right, tell me the issues that you're having with your computer again. Let's see. And guys, that lady said she's sleepy. Danielle, good morning. Tired. Navin, hey. Look, guys, go and complete your attendance quiz. Ty, can you unmute for a moment?
Yeah,
Ty, tell me again, one more time, what's going on with your account? You can't check your emails?
yeah, it's like my account's locked. I need a security key to get into it. Okay.
Get into is student email, and you can't get on Canvas either, can you?
No, I said I have to request something, and yeah, I have to request permission to do the work.
Let me see. Let me see something. Let me see something. So, can you see anything on my Canvas?
No, I can't see your screen. You sharing your screen or something?
No. When have you tried to get on Canvas lately?
Yeah, I did my attendance off my phone, and
So
that
you
was
can
a
get
few
into
minutes
Canvas.
ago.
Do you have a laptop from or a Chromebook from the school,
Yeah,
and it's not working?
nah, it's working. It just won't let me use my account on it.
It won't let you use your student email, but
Yeah,
you
it's
okay.
locked.
But when you can you use Canvas from the laptop?
Canvas. No, cause I have to. Yeah, but it won't let me do none of the work on it.
Okay, let me see. I'm emailing Mr. Hudson again and see. Uh, let's see. Let's see. You have a Chromebook.
I think this is what this computer is.
Chromebook. I'm for Chromebook or laptop. Okay, I'm waiting to see if he responds back. But yeah, just go ahead and complete your attendance quiz. Because we got to see about getting you a computer and get you where you will be able to log in with your student account. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So everybody should have had a chance to complete the attendance quiz. If you have not, please make sure that you do it. It is a requirement, not an option. Okay, so make sure you do it. Even if you should happen to miss class one day, make sure you get it done by 3:30 each day. Okay. Wanted to go over something. Wanted to talk with y'all about something. You guys know that we have done the meet and greet. So if there's anybody who needs to do the meet and greet today, let me know. But you know that on the meet and greet, I did require you to have your cameras on. It has always been a requirement for me, but now we're going to starting next week. Now, Monday, we don't have school, but starting Tuesday of next week and there on out, you will be required. Notice I said required to have your cameras on when we're doing synchronous work, meaning when we're doing work together, having discussions. I always require you to have your cameras on when you take tests. Only time I may not require you to have your cameras on is when I let you, you're doing your vocabulary or doing assignments that I'm letting you do independently. I will not really enforce that. But otherwise, when you come on every day, beginning next Tuesday, make sure that you have the cameras on. And if you notice, I have a background. So Google Meet lets you choose nice, appropriate backgrounds. So hopefully everybody will get to keep those. But if you should happen to have the option of choosing a background, it has to be appropriate, all positive vibes. It cannot be anything vulgar or negative or explicit. Okay, that is not acceptable. So, and I feel it's a good thing that you have your cameras on because, as I always state to you guys, when you go into the business world, become your own CEO, your whatever you are going to do, or if you have to attend business meetings, you have to correspond. You have to meet with your group, and oftentimes, your cameras will have to be on. Okay, so make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that your hair is combed, you're looking nice. You just have your clothes on like you were going to school. Okay. When your cameras are on, I don't want any music playing in the background. The cameras are on, but your sound is on mute. Unless you're answering a question, we're having a discussion or whatever. But make sure that, and like I said, you'll be able to choose your backgrounds, but we'll get into that a little bit more once I find out everything. But starting next Tuesday, you will have to have your cameras on. We're not trying to be nosy to see what your house look like. Uh, Nobody lives in a castle. If they do, oh, that's good for them. I don't live in a castle. I'm not trying to see what your house look like, anything like that. Not trying to be nosy. I'm not that type of person. I'm here uh, to instruct you, to teach you, to learn you new things so that you can be successful in life. That is my goal for all my students to be successful. Okay, so that's my only purpose, and to help you in any way that I can help you. But starting next Tuesday, your cameras will be on. I don't want to see you laying in the bed because then that's gonna make me sleepy. I want to see you sitting up, focused, and paying attention. This would not be an option. You will have to turn on your cameras in all your classes. Um, Let me know that you understand. Either unmute or put it in the chat. Say, I understand. If you have any questions, please ask your questions now.
I actually do have a question. What brought this upon the school to do this? Did like a
Okay.
student do something?
Say
Because
it
this
again.
usually
Say
never
it again,
happens.
Sincere.
Did a student do something?
No,
That's my
okay, Sincere,
thinking.
I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to be totally honest with you because I'm honest with you anyway. It has always been my requirement, but I didn't say anything about it. It has always been my requirement that I see you because it's great to put a name. When we're doing the meet and greet, I want to put a name with a face so I'll be able to see you. So, but it also makes you build up your confidence. It helps you, like I said, when you go out here and whatever you choose to do in life, you're going to have to be able to sometimes see people. if you go through life always having your cameras off, then you're not going to be able to, how do you say, socialize. You're not gonna be able to correspond and to, you know, to meet and greet, to network with people. I think they just want the students to be more successful, more confident, have more self-esteem. Sincere, tell me your thoughts, because that's why I brought it forth, because I want your thoughts, I want your opinions. It's okay. You're entitled to your opinions.
I don't know. I didn't think they was gonna make a requirement at all. But
Yeah, I think that they at first they didn't, because they didn't want the students to feel uneasy. But going through, I guess, over the last couple months, they see that sometimes students are not focused. Actually, sometimes not you, Sincere, but sometimes I can call on the student and all I get is a screen, and I notate it. I notate everything that happens, and I call on them, and they never answer. Or when I tell y'all guys, oftentimes I'll release you early. Do you know I still have people hanging on? They never, they never, um, they never go off. They just stay on there. And you know why they're staying on there? Because probably they sleep. So I have done it where I stayed on like 30 minutes or an hour after the class has ended, just to see if they would go off, and they don't. So I have to end up just cutting it off. Um, and like I said, sometimes I have called on students, and they're in the bed, or they're laying in the bed. And it's okay. I know we're at home and we want to be more relaxed, and it is more relaxed because you're at home. But I think that they felt that students would be more productive if the cameras were on, and they'll have more confidence. I think it builds your confidence. If you don't have confidence, or have your self-confidence or self-esteem, I think you're not able to adapt to the society. I have worked in public all my life since I was 15, and I have met people who are you know, I used to work at Dollar General a couple of years ago. When I first started out as just a cashier. Then I went up to a third key where, I opened and I closed. And I met a young lady who was 21 years old and had never had a job. And that's okay. She's 21, never had a job. But she never interacted with the public. And she was so quiet and withdrawn. People would, when she ring them up, she wouldn't tell them they total. She expect them to look up there at that thing at the monitor. Or if they ask her where something was, she'd be like, she wouldn't speak. So, being able to come on camera helps, build your communication skills, your socialization skills. So I think it's something they want the students to know. And also, we want to prepare you for that real world. You see that I'm a teacher, and I don't know if some of the other teachers have their cameras on. Do any of your other teachers, do they teach with their cameras off?
mostly all my teachers do.
They have their cameras off?
On.
On. Okay. But there may be somewhere or something. If I were to turn my camera off now, and I'm going to show you this example, because we're just talking. If I turn my camera off, only thing you're going to be able to see is my photo. You'll be able to hear my voice. And that's okay. Every now and then, I may have to go off camera because maybe somebody came in. But I think that I am so much more effective. Although you may not want to see me all the time, I am so much more effective when I turn my cameras on. I am more genuine when I turn my cameras on. I don't sound like, and I don't want to portray that anyway. I try not to be fake or anything like that. How I talk to you is how I talk at home, maybe a little bit louder at home because I have a loud voice. And we and my family, we all talk at the same time. Believe it or not, everybody's got their own conversation going. But we just want you to be more productive ready for the real world. Because when you get out, when you graduate from high school, go to college or start your own career, go into the service, you're going to have to communicate with people, using your face, because virtual is not going anywhere. It's actually become more popular. Oftentimes, like I said, now I know for me, when I take online classes, I don't have to see the people as much, but we want you to be ready for when your online classes and just build up your self-esteem. Okay. Victoria, you are fine. Victoria, all of us have bad hair days. I just cut mine right now, so all of it kind of look the same. But sometimes I don't have makeup. I don't have lipstick on today because of the mask. So it's okay. We are all a family. But like I said, this is just preparing you for success. Because if we just never turn on our cameras and we're asleep, I could be asleep. I could turn off my camera and be asleep and have a recording on. And you wouldn't know it unless, I guess, you asked me a question and I just kept on talking. So it's just that we just want to be able to see you. We want to be able to relate. And like I said, I hope that this goes over well with your other teachers and the other students. I really am proud this semester. I love all my students, but this semester, I see a difference in the quality of the students that I have. You all have come forth when we did the meet and greet. You came forth and did your assignments. You were like, can I go next? Can I go next? And you guys did a great job. I still have some who have not done theirs, and that's okay. But I know that when I call on y'all guys to do a presentation, y'all presentations are going to be off the charts. And I am so proud that when we do presentations, I'll be able to invite people, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, Miss Ray, you have got some A quality students." I'm like, "Yeah, I already know. I already know." So we're just wanting to uplift you and build you up and make you more productive, and make you more responsible. I think that's they were having issues where people were just in the bed or they were just getting the screen. Because like I said, even though I have some great quality students, I still have a couple in each class. I can call their names and they never answer. Never answer. And I just be like, never respond back. So that, I think that's what they were wanting to do. I think, there's wanting to be able to, so you guys will be able to experience and to know the difference between, how to interact with people. So I think that's what it was. I am still waiting. I emailed my supervisor on the program, and they are working with the people that's doing the program. So what we're going to do today, I want y'all guys to look at a video, and then after that, we're going to look at the video, and then probably tomorrow we will start working on some terminology. I want y'all, or I may decide to post it, and if I post it, I'll let y'all know. I want y'all to look at the video. Some of us have worked in Microsoft Word a little bit. Some of us have not. Some of us have mostly worked in Google Docs. But I wanted to show you a video. It's about 18 minutes, so just sit back and relax and just look at it. It's like an overview of the Microsoft Word. And we will get into the PowerPoint later. So if you'll hold on, let me present my screen. If you're unable to hear it or whatever, let me know. I'm getting ready to show y'all.
This is the beginner's guide to using Microsoft Word, and specifically using it to create documents like reports, essays, handouts, flyers, things like that. And so I'm just going to go down here and click on Microsoft Word. If you don't have Word down here on the taskbar, you can just click here on Search Windows and do a search for Microsoft Word to see if it's on your computer. If that doesn't turn up anything, then it's not installed on your computer. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and click on that to start it up, and Microsoft Word opens right up, and it gives me right away a bunch of templates that I can choose from to help me get started creating documents using Microsoft Word. And you can see that there's all sorts of great documents. They have trifold brochures, they have event menus, they have blog posts, all sorts of different templates that you can use. Also across the top, notice that you can filter them by category. So I could just show business templates, I could show event templates, labels, and so on. And notice that there is an education category. You can also search for online templates here. So templates can be a great time saver. You can just select one of these templates to open it up and then edit it and use it for your own purposes. But in this tutorial, we're going to focus just on creating starting from scratch. And so I'm going to click here where it says blank document, and it opens up the Microsoft Word layout and a blank document. Now, there is so much to Word. Most people don't really use Word to its full capabilities, but in this tutorial, I'm really going to focus on the basics, on those essentials that you need to know to start using Microsoft Word effectively. And one of the first things I'm going to do is just close this panel here at the left that says navigation. It's a nice panel, but I'm going to get rid of that and close that out. Next, I want to give you a quick tour of what you're seeing here in the layout. You'll notice that across the top we have tabs. We have the Home tab, Insert tab, Design tab, and this is very similar to Excel, Microsoft Excel, and also Microsoft PowerPoint. If you've watched my other tutorials, you already know about this Microsoft Office layout. But for those who maybe haven't watched those other tutorials, just a quick intro. Each of these tabs, when you click on it, will give you a different ribbon, and that's what they call this. This is the ribbon, and the ribbon changes based on the tab that you click. Okay, so if I want to change something about the layout, I click on layout and then I look at the layout ribbon and see what I can do. Now each ribbon is divided up into groups. So this is the page setup group, this is the paragraph group, and the arrange group. Now what if I want to insert something, maybe a picture or a photo? I would go to the insert tab and click, and I get the insert ribbon with lots and lots of different groups. Now one thing about groups that you need to be aware of is some groups will have a little launch button in the corner. So here's an example of a launch button. The paragraph group has a launch button, but the arrange group doesn't. At least for me, it doesn't. The page setup group has a launch button. So what are these launch buttons and why do you need to know about them? Well, basically, whenever you see a launch button, what that means is that there are more tools, but that they couldn't fit them in the space provided in the group. So if I don't see one of the font options that I would like to have, I look through these to see if it's there, and if it's not, I can just click here on the launch button and then I'll get even more options. Another example over here in the styles group, there's a few styles, but if I click here, then I get many, many more styles to choose from and some options that I don't see just by looking at the group itself. So watch out for that launch button. Okay, now down here I have the page of my document. This is my Word document and it's completely blank at this time. A couple of things that I want you to know about before you get started making a document. First of all, I don't know about you, but I like to be able to see the document, at least its width. And so I'm going to go down here in the lower right corner and change the zoom level. So it was at 200%, and that was a little bit too big for me. Maybe 150, maybe 125, something like that, that will be a little bit easier to fit on the screen. So I think I'll just go with this, 100%. Now in this tutorial, I'm using Microsoft Word 2016 for Windows. But if you're using an older version of Microsoft Word or even a future version of Microsoft Word or Word for Mac, most of what I'm showing you will still be applicable. But one of the things that I kind of miss from an older version of Microsoft Word is I miss the rulers. I'm used to having a ruler across the top and also down the left side to help me know the size of the page that I'm working with. So I'm going to go here and look and see where might there be an option to show the ruler. And I would think it would be maybe here in the layout options. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you're having trouble finding an option like I am right now, you don't need to really hunt and search for it very much. If it's not quickly showing up, all you need to do is go here to the top where it says tell me what you want to do and do a search. So I'll do a search for rulers. And look, right there at the top, there's an option that says show ruler, and I can click on it, and immediately the rulers pop up. Okay, so I'm happy now with the look of Microsoft Word. Okay, now I'm ready to start creating a wonderful document. And let's say this document is going to be a handout or a worksheet for my students. I can just go in and start creating. So I'll just provide a space there for the name of the student, the class period, and I'm just typing and hitting return or enter on the keyboard. And I would like this to be the title of my document. Now, this is pretty typical, but what I would do here is highlight the text, and immediately I get a pop-up here with some options that I have, but I can also go here to the Home tab, Home ribbon. That's where you'll find the most commonly needed options in Microsoft Word. And so look, there is center, and that's what I was hoping for. I can also underline if I want to. I can make it bold, and there's all sorts of options that you have there. I could make the text bigger, but more often than not, instead of making all of these fine-tuned adjustments, what I often do is I use these styles. And so to show that, I'm going to click the undo button several times to go back to just the text. So with just the text selected, I'm going to go here where it says styles, and I'll go to heading number 1. And you can see what it does. It changes the color, it makes it bigger, changes the font a little bit. There's also heading number 2 and several other options. Title would be a good one as well. And I'm going to go with title. Now, regardless of which one you pick, if you want, you can still adjust it. Like I would still like that to be centered. I would still like it to be underlined. And I think that looks really nice. So now I hit enter or return, and I can proceed to create this worksheet. I can type in instructions for my students, and Microsoft Word handles most of the work. I'm just typing, hitting enter, moving down. Now, I can also click to move around using the mouse, but watch what happens. I can only click so far. It's not letting me go past the current line that I've typed. I can go to the right side of it, but that's as far as it'll let me go. I can go back up, though, by clicking and make changes, make adjustments. Okay, and I'm really ruining this document, aren't I? So I'll just undo a few times. But the point is that if you want to put in some blank space and then type something below, you're going to have to tap enter a few times to move the cursor down, and then you'll be able to type down below. Now, when you get to the bottom of the page, you hit enter, and look, it just takes you automatically to page number 2. Now, a few other essential things to know about Microsoft Word include how to insert pictures, because that's really one of the powerful things about Microsoft Word. And you heard me say the keyword there, didn't you? It's insert. So I click on insert and look at the options that I have for things to insert into this document. All sorts of things, including Wikipedia articles, online videos, all sorts of neat things. But in this case, I'm going to go to Pictures, and that automatically accessed my computer. And now I can browse my computer to find pictures that I can then pull in and use in my document. So I'll pull in this skeleton. Now, whenever you put a photo or an image into Microsoft Word, it brings up some difficulties. For example, that is not at all where I wanted that photo to be. I wanted it to be here, in between the text up here and the text down below. And so this is a problem. The other problem is the photo came in way too big. So let's fix some of these issues. The first thing I'm going to do is click on the picture. Now, something subtle just happened. When I clicked on that photo, look what happened. I got an additional tab and ribbon that appeared at the top of Microsoft Word. And this is going to be very important. Anytime you click on something, especially something special like a photo or a video, it's going to give you some extra options. In this case, the format options. First thing I want to do, though, is just resize this image. So with it selected, I can just go to the corner, any corner, click and drag to shrink that photo down to size a little bit. And that's a lot better. Now, I'm struggling. I'm trying to drag it up to the place I want it to be, but it's just not quite cooperating with me. The reason why is because this photo has some specific layout options that come pre-selected by default. And so I need to change those layout options. Now, in this latest version of Microsoft Word, when you click on a photo, you'll get this little button that pops up. You can then click on it to change the layout options. But just like in older versions of Microsoft Word, you also have the option to right-click and go to Wrap Text, and that will give you the same options. So here in Wrap Text, I'm going to go with in front of text or behind text. Either one will work great. I guess I'll choose behind text. And now you can see what happened. Now it's moving much more freely. I was not able to do this before. I was not able to click and drag and put the picture wherever I wanted it to be. But just by changing the options to behind text or in front of text, now it's unlocked that photo, and I can put it literally anywhere in this document that I want it to be. It could even be up here in the header or in the footer. It really doesn't matter. So that's a nice little trick that you'll want to know and be able to use in your own documents. I also want you to know that you can insert online pictures, and this is a great option. You can connect to the internet and do searches and find images, find clip art and things that are on the web, and then just click and drag to drop them into your project. So that's a really nice option to have. Now, before we move away from the photo and move on to other topics, I want you to notice this Format tab that I mentioned earlier. When you click on a photo and then the Format tab, it gives you some options to do some things that are really nice. You can remove the background. In this case, it wasn't very successful in how it removed the background. You can alter the color scheme in lots of ways. You can do some corrections, and there's some artistic effects. And so there's some really pretty exciting things. You could come up with some creepy images here with this skeleton. I'm going to undo that. But these photo effects are really pretty nice. You can compress the picture as well and do some other exciting things. There's also some picture styles. For example, you can put a frame around Mr. Skeleton here, and there's all sorts of different frames. You can have a kind of a fuzzy border around the skeleton if you'd like. You can make it almost 3D with some of these 3D effects. So some really nice options. You can also crop, and you'll be surprised how often this is helpful and necessary. So when I clicked on crop, it gave me some additional lines and edges and things like that. So I can use that to crop out part of the photo. Whoops. And I have to make sure I get the exact line there. And then I can just click outside the box and it makes that crop effective. So watch out for this Format tab. It'll appear and give you some wonderful options that you need to be aware of. There are also all sorts of other great options, especially shapes are especially good. You can put in arrows, you can put in callouts, you can put in squares, rectangles, circles, plus signs, all sorts of great shapes that are useful, especially for teachers and students. And I want you to know that you can also add a text box. Now, how is a text box special? How is it different from the regular text that you're typing in? Basically, a text box is additional text that can float on top of your document. So I'm going to go with a simple text box, and I'll type in a wonderful message here and then click away. This text box now can be dragged wherever I want it to go. Now it is interacting with that text, and if I don't want that to happen, I can use this button here to make it be behind the text, the other text, or in front of the text. I'm going to go with behind, and so now I can drag it freely. So similarly to how I fixed this photo and made it so that I could drag it anywhere I wanted it to be, it's similar with text that's in a text box. Okay, now here in the Review tab, a few other basics that you need to know about. Whenever you're writing a paper or a report or even a worksheet like this, it's important to get the spelling right. And you can see here on the Review tab, you can click Spelling and Grammar, and it will check for spelling mistakes. It looks like it found one. I don't know how I possibly misspelled this word, but I did. And if it can, Microsoft Word will suggest alternate spellings that are correct. In this case, I've got it stumped a little bit, so I'll close that out. But I just wanted to point that out. The spelling and grammar in Word is great and is really one of the basic essentials that you need to know if you're going to be using Microsoft Word. There's also some great options like word count. If you're a student and the teacher has said, I want you to create a 2,000 word essay or report, you can just click to get a word count, and it'll tell you how many characters, how many words, how many pages, etc. There's also a wonderful thesaurus to help you use a variety of words instead of using the same word over and over. That's very helpful. Okay, so let's say you're done with your document and it's time to get ready to turn it in. If you're a student and you're finishing an assignment, let's say, or maybe you're a teacher and you've put together what you want to print and give to the students, how do you go from there? Well, one of the first things that you need to do is to consider if you have the right line spacing and things like that, especially for students. Maybe the teacher has said, I want you to double space your paper. How do you do that? Well, here on the Home tab, Home ribbon, you can go to Paragraph Group and look right here. This is the line and paragraph spacing options, and you can go in and say, I want double spaced. Now, for that to really be effective, you need to click and drag to highlight the text that you want to affect, So now when I do line spacing, set it at 2, now my paragraph has double-spaced text. I also want you to notice that you have font color options and all sorts of typical font options that you're probably very accustomed to on all sorts of tools and on the internet. There's different fonts to choose from here as well. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'm good. Of course, I could change the margins at the left and right using this ruler tool, but if I don't want to mess with that, I'll just leave it as is. Now, to finish this off, I just go to File, and I have a bunch of different options. First, I really should save this, and I can click Save. I can save it just to this PC, and I could save it directly, let's say, to the desktop or to my documents. But also notice that there's an option to save it to OneDrive. And if you're not familiar with OneDrive, please watch my YouTube video on OneDrive. It's a wonderful tool similar to Dropbox, but extra good for Microsoft Office and Microsoft Word in this case. Now to access that, it would be helpful to sign in to your Microsoft account. And that way, like it says here, you can get to your documents from anywhere because you'll be signed in to your Microsoft Office account and basically OneDrive. In this case though, I'll just save it to my desktop. It opens up and I just give it a name. So there's the name I want to use. I click Save and we're good to go. And of course I can also click there on File and I could print it now that I've saved. I could have printed it without saving, but it's a good idea to save first just so you don't forget. But I could now print and there's all these print options. Now in addition to print and save, notice what else that there is. There's export, and this is very powerful. I could create a PDF out of this document. So I can click that, save it also to the desktop in this case. And so now when I go to my desktop, look, there is a PDF document that I've created from inside Microsoft Word. And here's the original in Word format. So that's a nice powerful option just built right into Word. So I'm done. So I'm going to close out of this document completely, go to my desktop. Let's say next week I need this same document. I can just go back to Word, open it up, and look, because it was recently created, it shows up here. So this is a list of recently created documents on this computer, and there it is at the top. Now, as I use this more and more on this computer, I'm going to end up with 20, 30, 50, 100 documents. It might be nice if this is a document that I'm going to keep working on a lot over the next few weeks. It might be a good idea to try to get it to stay at the top of the list. Well, there is a way to do that. If you put your mouse on it, look, there's a little pin, and if you click that pin, it will pin this particular document to the top of the list. Now, I know right now I just have the one document, but imagine 500 documents. This document would remain at the top of the list because I pinned it. So that's a little trick that I think is helpful to know. So in this tutorial, we have gone over all of the basics that you need to know, all of the essentials that you need to know to start using Microsoft Word. Whether you're a teacher, whether you're a student, a business person, or you're just using this on your own at home. Microsoft Word is very powerful. You can use it to make all sorts of things. And what I've given you here today is just the basics to help you get started with a few little bonus tips and tricks in there that are a little bit more than basics. So in the future, I'd like to make an advanced Microsoft Word tutorial, so watch for that. But thanks for watching, and please consider connecting with me on my social media websites like Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest.
Okay, so I wanted to show you like an overview. So if you have never used Microsoft Word, it wouldn't be, something just like, whoa, overwhelming. You'll come to enjoy using Microsoft Word. It is similar to Google Docs. It's just more of an upgrade, has more features. So when we get into the program, you'll be able to maneuver a little bit better, but the program will be there to help you. It'll also have help options, so you won't be left alone. Sometimes you get a little aggravated with it. You say, wait a minute, I did that. And you didn't do something, just an inch off. So make sure you've done the attendance quiz, and we've already looked at the video. I will do my best to post the video up. I'll get it up maybe tonight or tomorrow, so y'all can have it to look at, to go back and refer to whenever you need to. And we're going to look at some more series of videos to help you get familiar. So are there any questions, comments, or concerns? All right. Daniela said no. Victoria, Amisha, Charles. They said no, no. So, all right. So we have went over, no, ma'am. All right. So just know you have heads up about the camera situation. And we're gonna carry on like we've been carrying on. I'll just get to see a little bit more of you, okay? So I will see y'all guys on tomorrow and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. That's it.